Hi folks, and welcome to today's video, which is an unboxing video. So I've got Jerry, my white Scoozie, with me today because what I am unboxing is another Scoozie, and this time it's a black one. I don't think these crop up as often, you know, the black ones.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think the white and the brown are the most common.
Is it any different than the white or the brown?
They have a different personality, and I'm not sure if they've got different sounds.
Right.
So that's something I'm going to find out with this once I get the batteries in and power it up.
Yeah.
And later in this video, I'm going to be answering some of your questions because I had quite a few questions about my white Scoozie and then a few more questions on some other stuff. So we're going to be doing questions and answers as well later in the video. But first, let's get this unboxing done. Looks like it's going to be easy to get into because it's like a shoebox.
Get it open. Oh yes, very easy.
Ooh, I'm so excited. I love these.
Black Scoozie, right?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
He looks so handsome. So he looks like he's in good condition. And how handsome is he? He's beautiful.
They suit the colour black, don't they?
They do, don't they?
Yeah.
And I was thinking of a name for him, and I thought I'll have a look online and see suggested names for black ferrets.
Oh yeah.
And I came across one and I thought, I've got to call him this.
What's that?
Inky Dinky.
Inky Dinky.
Inky Dinky.
I like that, yeah.
So this is Inky Dinky, folks.
Very nice colour. Two-tone.
So yes, you can see his nice markings. And that's one of the special things about these 2006, 2007 Scoozies. Every single one of them looks different. And that's why he's got these markings on him to make him look different.
So if you had another black one, the markings
it'd have different markings. Yeah. Nice, that, isn't it?
Nice idea.
Yeah. Individual. So it was like there's a strong emphasis on these that you got a unique pet,
right? In
both its personality and the way it looked. As he feels in nice condition.
He looks clean, yeah. Even though he's black, you know, his fur seems to be sort of.
It feels clean. Unlike Jerry, who was really dirty.
Bit of a mess, wasn't he, Jerry?
Yes, yeah. I had to have about 5 cleaning sessions with Jerry. I love his shiny black eyelids. So I doubt very much he's going to have batteries in, but I shall try putting him on. So he has a 3-position switch. Off is in the middle, try me is to the right, and on is to the left.
Okay.
So let's try putting him on. No, he hasn't got any batteries in. So let's get this battery door off.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. No corrosion.
Splendid. And the same with the battery box, yeah.
Oh, that is good.
I do like polite battery boxes like that.
They make life easier.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
But wow, those terminals are in really good shape. That was another thing with Jerry. His battery box was very corroded, both the pull-out part and the internal part. Paul had to clean it up, didn't you?
Yeah.
In fact, the corrosion was that bad it wouldn't switch on at first until Paul cleaned it up. But these are gleaming. Okay, moment of truth.
Does that feed me?
I'm not sure if that's feed me or stroke me.
Stroke me.
I'm not sure. It could be feed me. I haven't got any food for you, Flower. So I now have 2 Scoozies and no food.
Right, but you've got a third Scoozie coming with food.
I've done a trade, but that's not coming until the beginning of February now.
Right.
So these guys will have to stay off until the beginning of February because they'll just be in a bad mood.
So, the food that's come in with the brown Scoozie, what food is it, and which one does it go with? The white, the black, or the brown?
It's the apple, which is the food that the brown Scoozie likes.
Right, okay.
But what I've read is that if a Scoozie's really hungry, they'll eat any food.
Right. And of course, when we get this food, we're going to analyse it.
He's just said hungry. Oh, makes me feel so mean. Oh, he's laughing. That's nice.
The ears move. I don't recall seeing the ears move on the white one.
Oh, they do?
They do, yeah.
Oh, he's giggling now. Right. I don't know if my white Scoozie, if it's not a giggly Scoozie, but I can't get any reaction out of tickling the tummy.
Maybe it's
but
because...
I'm not sure if maybe the solderin's come off the
or maybe
touch
the
sensor.
fact that they're not being fed means they don't get into such a great happy mood. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely get more of a reaction from tickling this one's belly.
I love these black paws.
He's beautiful, isn't he?
Do you get real black ferrets? Did you get black ferrets in real life?
Well, yeah, that's why there was a list of different names to name them.
Right, of course, yeah.
Well, Inky.
Inky Dinky and Jerry. Great. Have you got the name for the brown one that's on its way?
Nah, I think I'll wait till it comes. I've just noticed he's got brown eyes. Inky's got brown eyes. And Jerry's got blue. I know you're hungry. I can't do anything about it. So I'm going to lie them down now, because they go to sleep when you lie them down. So now we'll move on to the questions. So the first questions are about these Scoozies.
Oh, yeah.
And the person asks, where did you get the instructions from? I've arranged a trade with someone for a brown Scoozie.
Oh, yeah.
And they have the instructions. And they took some photographs of some of the instructions and posted them to me on Messenger.
Right, okay.
So that's how...
You looked on the internet, didn't you? You couldn't find them, is that right?
Yes, I had a good look on the internet and I couldn't find them anywhere. When I eventually get the instruction manual, I'd like to do a PDF, and make it available.
It's a good idea, yeah. Because they're a bit thin on the ground, aren't
they? Very thin. The next question they ask is, how come you have the ferret with a mouth that opens? Because not all of them do. Well, that's because these Scoozies are from 2006/2007. So you can see on the label here, it says 2007 Senario LLC. So these Scoozies were not the first Scoozies that were released. The very first Scoozies that were released were in 2000, and those Scoozies only moved their tail. They didn't have any other moving parts.
So they've evolved quite a bit to on the 2007 ones.
Yes, the company brought out this animatronic version in 2006. And it's completely different. I would say there's only the only thing that's similar is that the ferrets and that they have some of the sounds that the original ones have.
Right.
But apart from that, they're a completely different product because these are jam-packed full of sensors.
Was this 2007 Ferret the end of the evolution line?
They only brought out 2 different kinds. They brought out the 2000 original Scoozies.
Right.
And they brought them out in all different coat types.
I see, yeah.
They brought them out in 2 sizes as well.
Right.
I believe they brought out a mini Scoozie, and I don't think that one moved its tail. It was just the other one that moved its tail. And they also didn't just stay with ferrets, with the original 2000 ones. They brought out lots and lots of different creatures as well. And I think that's one of the reasons why they were popular for collectors, because it was that many different ones.
Right.
So yes, the 2000 doesn't have an opening mouth. The 2006/7, the mouth opens mechanically and moves. It also moves its ears and its eyes, as well as its tail. Do all of them come with their own food? Some don't look like they do. And I see other reviews where people press the nose to feed. Again, when you press the nose to feed, that's the original Scoozie.
Right. So that doesn't have food.
No.
Because it's just press the nose, yeah?
Yes, it's just like press a switch to feed it.
Mm-hmm.
It's only the 2006/7, the animatronic Scoozies, that have food. And they have food because we don't 100% know what the sensor is in the mouth.
No, that's right. It's an investigation, isn't it? The sensor mechanism. Yeah.
But they've got some sort of sensor in the mouth. We're not sure if it's RFID or something different, but there's definitely something in the mouth that can differentiate between three different types of food. And the next question, do you have the friendly version? The Friendly Ferret was the name of one of the animals in the original 2000 range.
Oh, right.
So in the 2006/7 range, they're only ferrets. They didn't make any other animals.
Right. So it's a reference to the name of the products rather
so I think each one had a name of it.
Right,
Had a name. So you had the Friendly Ferret was one, and then the beaver would have had some other word before beaver, for example, because they made a lot of different animals in the 2000 range. And the final question from this person, do you know if they did any other animals, and how will I find out what they are and what they do?
Well, as you were saying, in the early part of the range, they did a lot, didn't they? So.
They did lots and lots of different animals. I don't know if they made different noises or not, but the sort of internal structure of it was the same. They just had this like press button nose, the tail wagged, and then they made various noises. I don't know if there was different noises between them or if it was just a case of they had a different covering on to make it look like a beaver or whatever. So there's quite a lot of different animals, and if you look on eBay, there's certainly US eBay, ebay.com, there's loads of 2000 Scoozies for sale, all different animals.
Right.
So if you want to see some of the different animals that are available, just look on there.
But by the time you reach 2007, they only made ferrets.
Right? The second version, the only other version that they made of them, it was just ferrets.
Right.
And it was just black, brown. I thought there was a white and a grey, but I don't think there is now. I think there's just a white and a white with sort of grey markings.
Right.
So I think that they all were the same one, like they came with the strawberry.
3 different types of 2007 ferret with 3 different types of food.
Yeah. So that was those questions. And this is the last question on the Scoozie. What did you use to clean the fur on this toy? Please let me know the name and the ingredients so I make sure I buy the right product. Also, where can I buy it? So it was this white Scoozie that I cleaned up
Yeah, it's cleaned up pretty
And
well too, yeah.
yeah, I had about 4 or 5 sessions with it because it was really, really dirty. I didn't think it was going to clean up, but it did. And this is what I used: isopropyl alcohol.
Commonly available from eBay, Amazon.
Is that right? You can get it from eBay and Amazon.
Yeah.
So the ingredients in it is just isopropyl alcohol. That's all it is.
That's all it is, yeah. Otherwise known as IPA.
And it's excellent for cleaning animatronic toys, the fur and animatronic toys, because it evaporates very, very quickly.
Yeah, it's spirit, so it does evaporate tremendously quickly. It doesn't really wet things as such.
So there's no risk to the electronics.
Well, it's in fact it's used in the electronics industry to clean circuit boards after.
Is that right?
It is, yeah.
Oh, well, there you go then. There are some precautions you need to take when using this, however. It's highly flammable, so you must keep it away from sources of ignition. And it's got also vapour because it evaporates very quickly.
Yeah, it puts a very pongy spirit smell in the air, so you want good ventilation.
Yeah, I think it can give you a headache if you don't have good ventilation.
I think ideally you're best using it outside on a nice warm day, really.
Yeah, when I cleaned butterscotch,
Yes.
I cleaned that outside on a summer's day.
Yeah.
And I really need to have that outside because it was such a big model.
Yeah.
I used loads of isopropyl alcohol and I don't think I could have had enough ventilation even opening the window in the house.
But you have cleaned smaller things indoors in the kitchen with the window
the window open.
Yeah.
But you do need the window open when you clean indoors, even if you're just doing a small amount. And it says may cause drowsiness or dizziness.
That's if you inhale the vapour, which you shouldn't be doing anyway. You should have the ventilation, yeah.
I think it causes you a headache before you get those symptoms.
Yeah, personally, I've never had a headache from it, but
I could feel one coming on when I've not had it ventilated enough. And you must wear protective gloves. I use nitrile gloves. You can get those off Amazon and eBay as well, can't you, Paul?
You can. It's not really going to do anything to your skin other than dry it out. So that's why you need to use gloves.
I wouldn't want to use it without gloves.
No, I wouldn't use it without gloves either. But it's not good. It's not carcinogenic. It's not going to damage your skin if it goes on it like acid or anything like that. It'll just dry it out. But definitely use gloves still, yeah.
And we've had another question about using isopropyl alcohol. I am purchasing one of these. That's this little live kitten.
Oh, yeah.
For my 5-year-old. Due to the fact that kids are messy, do you recommend doing this method of cleaning regularly? Also, what type of brush would be good for her to groom the kitty with? So for cleaning with isopropyl alcohol, I use a toothbrush, just an ordinary toothbrush. Works very effectively.
And some cotton wool pads I've seen you use when you're wiping it to wipe off the...
Mainly I use toilet paper.
Toilet paper, yeah.
To dry it.
Yeah. Or kitchen roll or something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And in terms of how often, I usually give things a good clean if I've bought them from eBay and they're dirty, especially when they're white.
Yeah.
But I tend to only have to clean them once.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about kid might spill something on them or whatever, then I would just clean the area when necessary. I don't think you can sort of clean them too often with isopropyl.
No, I think if you do clean it and you're going to give it back to a child, you've got to make sure that it's fully evaporated. So
yes, I think that's that. I think you should leave it
24 hours.
Yes, leave it a day to make sure it's all evaporated.
Yeah.
And in terms of grooming, I find a fine-toothed comb to be the best. So this is my preferred one, and if I can't find that one, I use this one. But yes, any fine tooth combed I find is the best thing for grooming them. So moving on to the next questions. Which one do you recommend? My Fuzzy Friends Winks or Purple? I'm thinking of the two things. And the same person also asks, what do you recommend among sleepy toys? And that was on my comparison video of the Cozy Dozy Koala and the Winks My Sleepy Kitty. So here we've got Purple and Cozy Dozy Koala. I no longer have Winks My Sleepy Kitty. Didn't keep that one. But I'll give you folks a quick blast of what Winks My Sleepy Kitty is like. So try that. Has a very ticklish head. Alright. That's making Winks close his eyes and purr. Little lullaby as well. Oh, wow, that was unexpected. It's decided it doesn't want its head stroking. So Winks My Sleepy Kitty is, I would say, the only one out of these three that's amusing. It's quite funny, isn't it?
It is.
Especially when it gets in a grumpy mood.
Yeah.
So it depends what you want these for. If you want them to relax, I wouldn't say that Winks is
No, Winks
relaxing.
was really a toy, wasn't it?
Yes.
And this koala is also a toy, yeah.
Yes.
And as far as I remember, the Purple was something that was made as a
therapeutic
model, yeah.
So in terms of helping you relax, I would scratch off Winks. The Cozy Dozy doesn't have a lot of battery energy in it at the moment. The batteries are very low. But I do actually find the Cozy Dozy quite a sort of comforting little thing.
Relaxing.
Yeah. And
Say
I
to
find
hold
it
on your lap as you're out watching TV or something, just having it on.
Yeah, I find this much cuter than the Winks. It's a lot simpler. It doesn't do as much.
Yeah.
But I find it a lot cuter, especially when you start dressing it up and things.
Yeah.
And we even made a cradle for this, didn't we? A mechanised cradle.
Ah, yes, I remember that, yeah.
I've got to show you that because that was so cute.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've hung on to this. I'm quite fond of this one.
Well, that's a recommendation in itself, I suppose.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Even though it was much simpler.
So it's a halfway house between a toy and a relaxing.
It is a toy.
It is a toy, yeah.
But I think it's a toy that is quite
Relaxing.
sort of relaxing, yeah.
Right. Okay.
The Purple was made as a sort of anti-stress type model to help you calm down if you're stressed.
Yeah, because you actually go through like a routine of calming the Purple down, don't you? And
Yes.
it's supposed to calm yourself down, and I think that actually has got some validity to it.
I actually found that it was helpful when I was doing jury service and I was like quite stressed about it.
Yeah.
I've got a range of things, and I found that the purple was one of the things
that
helped. That I turned to.
Right.
Purples look a bit different to this when you buy them, because I actually did a custom on this with polymer clay that was flocked. I'll show you side by side what it looks like originally. Yeah. So it's got 2 different settings you can have off, and then you can have a slower heartbeat where you can calm it down more quickly, or a very fast heartbeat where it takes longer to calm down. Personally, I never use the one where it takes longer to calm it down. I only put it on this middle setting.
Okay.
And then as soon as you pick the purple up, it's hard. You can feel it. Bum, 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 bum.
It's not something you can hear then?
It is when you put it next to your ear.
Right, so if you're sort of lying down on the sofa or if you're in bed with it, you could hear it, yeah.
And I was using it to sort of like take my mind off things when I went to bed when I was on the jury service.
So could you hear that? Could you hear that with a microphone or?
Yeah, I'll put the microphone right next to it and see if you can hear it. So its heartbeat's starting to slow down now, and then it gets in a better mood, so that when you press its ears, it can giggle and it will eventually purr.
So as well as making a heartbeat sound, it gives off other sounds as well to indicate stress or
yes,
contentment.
It does. It makes unhappy sounds until you start to calm it, and then it'll purr. There's one thing I don't like about this, and I've heard other people make the same complaint. Once you calm it down and it purrs, then it'll power down. And I've had it in bed, like next to my head when it's done that.
Yeah.
But what can happen is you're just not enough, and then if you just move it a little bit, its heart will start beating fast and start complaining again.
Yeah, I remember that as being a bit of a drawback.
And instead of having 2 different heartbeats, it would have been better if they had just one heartbeat and a setting whereby it's like a nighttime setting. So it go through the routine once, and then once it goes to sleep, it'll stay asleep until you knock it off and knock it back on again with the switch. Yeah. They should have done that. Yeah. That's the only thing I would say against it, but other than that, I've found it quite relaxing. The next questions are to do with robotic cats. So the first of these questions is from someone who's currently having therapy, and they found that having real dogs and cats around was very helpful for them. But they are looking for a robotic cat.
Yeah.
And she says, what can you recommend for someone who is low vision and wants a robotic cat for therapy and comforting needs?
Interesting question, yeah.
So out of robotic cats, I would say that Metacat is my favourite. I like the Meow best.
Yeah, it's got some good sounds.
Metacat. And Metacat has a nice purr.
Yeah.
So Metacat has got a moving head. She's purring because I'm stroking the back of her head now. And she's got a moving tail. Yeah. She feels very nice on your lap, doesn't she, Paul?
She does, yeah.
I say she. I've called this one Fred. It's supposed to be male. And again, when I was on the jury service, I found it was nice to have Metacat next to me, like when I was watching TV. It was like a comforting thing. And if you're watching TV, you don't want it to meow, you can put it on mute. So I've put Metacat on mute now. Unfortunately, it means that you can't have the purr. It doesn't purr when it's on mute. But yeah, it's nice being able to stop it meowing if you're sort of watching TV or something like that, and it will still move. So yes, I find Metacat quite comforting.
It's also nice plush as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good quality plush. But I also found very relaxing Meow Ever. Now, my mother doesn't understand this one at all, does she? She says, why hasn't it got a face?
Yeah, because this is a therapy cushion, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like...
in the form of a cat, in that it's got a tail and a couple of cat ears, but no cat face.
Yeah, and it hasn't got any legs.
No.
I think you're supposed to sort of feel like the legs are tucked up.
Yeah.
But what it does have is it has a gel pack that you can put in the microwave, and you put that into the cat, and then when you stroke it on the back, it'll start to purr. This one doesn't meow, it only purrs.
But the purr on this is particularly good, isn't it?
It sounds like a real cat.
And doesn't it also feel, you feel the purr?
And you also have a vibration with it. Yeah,
so it's got a sound and a feel.
It's very realistic, and I find a really relaxing purr.
It is. It's not intrusive if you're watching telly either.
Well, also, I have had this in bed before, and you've got that purr next to you. And after a while, when you stop stroking it, it stops purring until you start stroking it again. Yeah. But I find it's a very comforting thing to help you get to sleep. And yes, I kind of, when I was doing the jury service, I sort of moved between Meow Ever, Purble and Metacat.
Yeah.
But I think possibly I found Meow Ever the most... relaxing. So I'm sure if you would like to measure your sort of heart rate and such forth, you know how it goes down when you stroke an animal.
Yeah.
I'm sure it would show that it had gone down when I stroked this, because it is so relaxing. And then you have the warmth as well when you put the gel
That's
pack
right,
in.
yeah. So Meow Ever is a therapy cushion which is a passing resemblance to a cat, although it does make these cat sounds, And Metacat
it's not something to look at.
No, it's not.
It's all in the sensation.
It is, yeah. The heat and the sound of the purr and the feel of the vibration of the purr.
And I think the fact that they've made it sort of like a cushion, it means it's more comfortable as well.
That's
to
right,
cuddle up to.
yeah.
So I really like my Meow Ever.
Metacat's more of a model, really, isn't it? It's based on servo, so it's more of a model than a toy or a therapy cushion.
Though some people do find Metacat therapeutic.
Right, okay.
But that's more in the sort of, I think, a companionship type
right.
thing, because
rather than anti-anxiety or relaxation.
Yeah. But yeah, I find this one, it's like I can't stop stroking it. And the other cat question is on For Real Friends cat. I know this is an old video, but does your cat's eyelids actually close? I got one today, but mine stay open. So I've got my For Real Friends cat here because I couldn't remember if the eyes close or not. So we'll power up and we'll find out. She's raising a tail. You seem to have annoyed her.
I don't know why.
No, it doesn't look like her eyes do close, does it?
Do they move at all?
Well, I think when you have a good look at her, I can't see how there's a mechanism there at all. Doesn't look like a mechanism, does it?
No, that's right. It doesn't. No, it's too neat for there to be a mechanism there.
They're beautiful, those eyes, aren't they?
Very nice. It's the first time I've had a quite close look at them like this. Yeah, they are very nice eyes. Yeah, but they don't close.
Couldn't remember that,
No, I couldn't.
So she just moves a head and a tail. So for the person who left the comment, no, you haven't got a broken cat. It's just the way that they're made.
Yeah, if the eyes did move, you would find that when you looked at the eyes, they wouldn't be as neat as they are on this cat.
Yeah.
Because you tend to see the mechanism in the corners of the eye, don't you? And the eyes seem to be not as good as they are on this cat, but that doesn't close its eyes.
Well, we have said before, haven't we? The thing about when you start getting moving mechanisms is you lose realism. Because I think this cat's got a nicer face than the Joy for All cat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Joy for All cat moves its ears, its eyes, and it opens and closes its mouth.
Yes, I mean...
its face isn't as nice.
As soon as you're quite right, as soon as you start to introduce animatronics, you do start to destroy or water down the realism, like the aesthetic realism of something that is just a plush.
Yeah, because it's got to sort of
like a compromise,
be distorted.
It's a compromise, yeah.
It's got to be distorted in order to have the mechanism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let's look at the final 3 questions. The first is about Squawker's macaw. Is there an accessory I should be saving up for first? Like, what will he need the soonest? The stand, the remote, the cracker? He doesn't have anything else, does he? No, he doesn't have anything else, just those 3 accessories. I would say the thing I use the least is the stand. Though I suppose he looks quite nice on the stand, but I don't personally find it important. Next to that, the biscuit isn't really important because he'll chew on anything you put in his mouth.
Right.
It's just a push button switch in the mouth. There's nothing special about the cracker. The only accessory I would say is really worth having is the remote control, because you can get them to do some fun stuff, can't you?
Oh yes, you can with the remote, yeah.
Unfortunately, our remote's not working at the moment because it seems like it's gummed up inside, doesn't it, Paul?
Yes, it needs taking apart and cleaning out, I think.
We've been meaning to do that for months. We're going to have to get round to that in the next couple of weeks, you know, and I'll do a video and we'll try and get this working again and show you what Squawkers does with it. The next question is about a cat project that I was working on some months ago now, and the person asks, is there an update? I'm afraid I have got a tendency to not finish projects. The cat is still in a plastic container in my room. I still intend to work on it, but at the moment I'm focusing on finishing this guinea pig. Just having recently made these ears, which I'm really happy with. I have got a Christmas present, which is Kai robot, that is a kit that you put together and then you learn about AI by giving it training data. And I've not touched it, I've not opened it because I'm being very firm with myself and I absolutely want to finish this guinea pig project before I start anything else. And of course we've got the Furby project, but you're doing all the work on that at the moment, aren't you, Paul?
At the moment, yeah.
So yes, there is no update on the cat project. I do intend to get back to it one day, but I haven't got a firm date penciled in yet. And the very last question is about the Eyebows and Luna. Someone was asking how old they are. So Scout will be 3 years old this October, and Rocket will be 2 years old next month.
That's right, yeah.
But that model of Eyebow, the ERS 1000, I think it actually came out in 2017 in Japan.
6 years ago.
And 2018 in the US. So it's reasonably old model now. You get software updates, but they've not done any sort of like hardware update, have they?
No, they've had the same product on the market for 6 years plus now.
And Luna came out the back end of 2022. So we backed her on Kickstarter, so we got her like right at the beginning. So we've had Luna a year and a few months now. So folks, that ends this question and answer session. Been a bit of an epic one. I hope that was helpful for anyone who asked a question. And we'll probably do another question and answer session in a week or so's time when some more questions build up. But that's it for this video, folks. Thanks for watching as always, and hope to see you next time.